The State Thai Pongal Festival held in Jaffna.
Vehicle prices likely to soar once again.
The former president hints at forming a new party.
Minister P. Harrison provides a name for the new party. A very good evening and welcome. This is Primetime News here on MTV and Shakti TV. I'm Ramesh Irugabandara, joined by Aishwarya Pinto. Good evening, Aishwarya.
Good evening, Ramesh.
Well, first of all, we wish all our Hindu viewers a very happy Thai Pongal. We've got a brilliant bulletin lined up for you tonight. We take you to Dharaniyagala, where nature is under threat in the Alihata area.
And in news from the international arena, police have identified 4 of the 5 suspects linked to the recent attacks in Jakarta. Details of these stories and more come your way shortly. Sinindu Sudumudu Talave, the event organised to appreciate the great contribution made to Sri Lankan music by Somadasa Elvitigala, was held yesterday under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
The event was held at the Bandaranayake Memorial International Conference Hall. Several songs composed by Somadasa Elvitigala were sung at the event. A magazine and a CD comprising of songs composed by Somadasa Elvitigala was presented to President Maithripala Sirisena at the event. A monetary donation was presented to the wife of Somadasa Elvitigala by the President. Hindu devotees around the world celebrate the holy festival of Thai Pongal today. Traditionally celebrated at harvest time, Hindus celebrate the prosperity associated with the harvest by thanking the sun god, the rain and farm animals that have helped yield the harvest.
According to the Hindu calendar, the first month of the year is known as Thai, while Pongal refers to the dawn. Therefore, Thai Pongal is also known as the dawn of the new year. A special ritual which takes place during Thai Pongal is the offering of the first portion of the new harvest to the sun god. The Hindus believe that the path ahead is made clear with the dawn of the new year, thereby this festival, which is done in conjunction with nature, is of great significance to Hindu devotees. With the rising of the sun, Hindu devotees engaged in religious activities to celebrate Thai Pongal today. The tradition where rice from the new harvest, syrup from a new stick of sugarcane, milk rice made with the use of cow's milk and turmeric are given as an offering to the sun is an important tradition adhered to during Thai Pongal.
President Maithripala Sirisena added his wishes for Thai Pongal, which is celebrated today.
President Maithripala Sirisena in a message says that Thai Pongal is a festive occasion that signifies the everlasting relationship between human beings and nature. The message reads that the responsibility at present should be to carry forward the historical heritage that treats nature sacredly and supports the social cohesion and coexistence as well as social progress, and adds that the national identity and unblemished cultural heritage are well reflected in festivals such as Thai Pongal. The President adds that as this festival is close to the hearts of our fellow people, just like a boiling pot of milk that overflows on this day, let the love of humans towards each other pour out, and may the illuminated lamps lighten up to dispel darkness and lead the way to genuine coexistence. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says that as the Hindus in Sri Lanka and the world over celebrates Thai Pongal, we reminisce that it is an occasion that lights the flame of hope in our hearts. He adds that Thai Pongal reminds the need to live our lives with gratitude and stay conscious of the need to coexist in harmony with nature and with one another. Opposition leader R. Sampanthan stated that Thai Pongal would allow the people who have been left helpless due to various reasons to build their lives once again. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa adding his wishes, hopes for unity, reconciliation and peace to further develop the country. The national event to celebrate Thai Pongal took place in Jaffna today under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Rituals for the Thai Pongal festival were performed at the Rajarajeshwari Amman Kovil in Palali, Jaffna. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe also attended the event. The national event to celebrate Thai Pongal took place at the Veerasinghe Mall in Jaffna. The event, which was graced by the Prime Minister, also saw the participation of the Chief Minister of the Northern Province, C.V. Vigneshwaran, ministers, MPs and many others.
If you look at the Northern Province, the issues that the people face are yet to be resolved. Political prisoners were not released. The Prevention of Terrorism Act was not abolished. Private lands and property were not released. Relatives continue to search for those who are missing. Measures have not been taken to rebuild the lives of former LTTE members. Military presence in the north was not reduced. The central government continues to interfere with the provincial council. There is no doubt that the new government that was voted in has created a democratic environment. However, at this moment, there are three important things: the constitutional reforms, providing solutions to the issues faced by the Tamil people as per the UN pledge, and also ensure that justice is meted out in accordance to the 2015 September UN Human Rights Council report. We feel that the current government is taking action to fulfill these points. We are also aware that in South Africa, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was an instrument innovated post-conflict. They solved their constitutional and political problems and then embarked on a social journey together. However, on a day that we call joyously celebrate Thai Pongal, it must be noted that such has not been established here as yet. That is the truth. They will only understand the gravity of the issue if they come to the north and live with the people, like I have done, leaving Colombo and coming here. Some in the south might blame me for mentioning this. It must be noted that the Pongal rice is much more delicious than the milk rice we make. The Prevention of Terrorism Act is one that is outdated. That is to be removed. In the future, there may be issues with regard to international terrorism. That may not take place in Sri Lanka. If such a situation transpires, we will introduce a law similar to the UK. That will be successfully done by mid-year. It is sad to mention that with regard to the missing, if they are not in our lists, it means that some of them may not be alive. I do not know what happened. Only the legal military is present in Jaffna. Groups that took up arms were removed. I have spoken to the top brass of the military with regards to the numbers here. They have informed me that with the development of this area, the military can be dispatched to areas required.
It's been 6 years since the war concluded. However, people are yet to adapt to their usual routine. Lands have been taken over as high security zones. There are displaced persons. All of them must be resettled. People from Valikamam have been living in camps and with relatives for over 3 decades. The aspirations of the people is that the resettlement process is expedited.
The government is reaching out to the Tamil people through various avenues. 3,000 acres of lands have been released for them. I believe that more lands will be given in the coming 6 months. It is our responsibility to build houses for them by releasing lands for them. We requested for the release of political prisoners. There were several shortcomings. During the court hearings, attorneys presented various facts. I believe that all the facts will be taken into consideration to provide a solution to this.
This is a time for new beginnings, heralding the hope of a new era of peace and prosperity. People I have met talk of Sri Lanka as a more inclusive country, where people no longer live in fear and the media operates freely, and moves towards restoring independent institutions should lead to a more democratic and accountable government. So today, more than ever, we see real hope of lasting reconciliation after the devastating civil war, and real prospects for a prosperous future in Sri Lanka. So my message to you today is that as Sri Lankans build that future, the British government and the British people stand with you all, ready to support you in any way we can.
Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga presided over the event for the school students of the Jaffna district. There is an extremist group that acts to gain more power and work for their personal gains in politics. They were there and they continue to remain. They are in the north and in the south. This government is of the clear stance that the rights and benefits of the Sinhala community should be equally provided to the other communities in the country. Not only the military, the LTTE also caused suffering to the democratic civil Tamil community. The Tamil community was pressed from both sides and suffered because of this.
On a related note, in a goodwill gesture for Thai Pongal, Sri Lankan authorities decided to release 55 Indian fishermen arrested for allegedly poaching in the country's territorial waters.
The Fisheries Department stated that the Kites Magistrates Court had released 45 fishermen, while the Magistrates Court of Point Pedro released 10 fishermen.
In view of the Thai Pongal festival, Sri Lanka released the Indian fishermen today. The fishermen who were released today were arrested for breaching into the northern waters and were remanded. However, the Fisheries Department stated that the vessels and other equipment belonging to these fishermen will not be released. A spokesman for the department stated that it has received instructions from the Attorney General's department to release all the fishermen who were arrested by the Sri Lankan authorities. Thereby, the remaining 51 fishermen will be produced to court and will be released in the future.
On to our developing story tonight. The Vehicle Importers Association in Sri Lanka says that fluctuating exchange rates would give way for vehicle prices to soar further by 200,000 to 300,000 rupees in the future.
Chairman of the association, Indika Sampath, pointed out that the strengthening of the dollar and the change to the Japanese yen can be cited as reasons for this.
Tax amendments from the recent budget saw the prices of vehicles reduced dramatically. However, many vehicle importers did not clear their cargo from the harbour even after the day that the budget was presented, believing that all those who opened letters of credit before the budget would be allowed to clear the vehicles under the previous tax system. However, on Wednesday, the Finance Minister noted that this relief will only be given to those who imported the vehicles for personal use and not commercial use.
We will have to pay 50 to 60,000 rupees for not clearing the vehicles, and because of the drop in exchange rates, the price of a vehicle would soar by 200,000 to 300,000 rupees in the coming weeks.
Vehicle importers say that following the tax amendments, the price of an electric car would rise by 2.5 million rupees, the price of a hybrid car would rise from 500,000 to 1.5 million rupees, and the price of a van would rise by 3.5 million rupees.
2.5 million to 2.7 million will be added to the price of an electric car, and the price of a van will increase by 4 million. Most of the importers have directed their attention to re-export because it is more beneficial to re-export than clear the vehicles and bring it into the country.
The depreciation of the Sri Lankan rupee compared to the dollar was the main reason for the rise in prices of imported goods, including vehicles.
For 20 to 30 years, we have been maintaining our currency rate. Reserves in the country were also released. This cannot be done always. 80% of our reserves comprise of international loans and aid. With all of this, if we continue to control the rates, we will not be able to compete with the world. That is why the rate of the dollar was floated. During this time, the consumer may find it uncomfortable. If we do not float the rate, we will not have any import revenue. Hard decisions will have to be made by the government. If not, we will not be able to take this country forward.
Those visuals were beautifully framed about a year ago from within the Samnala Adavia Nature Reserve. This particular group of waterfalls is known as the Alihatha, and what you saw was the second waterfall of this grouping.
Now, I had the privilege of trekking up to this waterfall with a group of seasoned News1st adventurers, and sadly what we saw yesterday was totally different from what you were able to see a short while ago. The magnificent 100-meter-high Alihatha Falls encapsulates a series of 7 waterfalls perched in the high peaks of the Bamaragala area and is a sight to behold. At a distance, the waterfall appears like streams of milk rushing down the mountainside. The exuberant and spectacular waterfalls are located off Udamalimbada in Dharaniyagala. The Nayaganga, which springs to life from the furthest summits of the Samanala Adaviya Nature Reserve, transforms itself into these 7 waterfalls as it makes its journey downstream. Our journey to reach the second waterfall took us quite some time. Before we began our ascent, we came across this signboard of the Wildlife Conservation Department.
Now, Al-Lahata loosely translates to 7 waterfalls, and this is the second waterfall of that 7 waterfall group. Now, usually this entire area is covered by water because of this waterfall. However, it is not so today, and there is one reason for that, and that one reason is a dam that has been built across this area for a private hydropower project. News First takes a look.
Water flowing to the second waterfall of Alihata has been obstructed by a miniature dam, and the water retained in this manner is funneled into a large pipe which transports the water to a private hydropower plant. As a result of this, water no longer flows to the first waterfall of Alihata. Environmentalists charge that such a construction within the confines of an identified nature reserve is a clear violation of the Flora and Fauna Protection Ordinance of 1937 as well as the Forest Ordinance of 1908.
The beauty that this majestic body of water gave to this area has been restricted to a pipe today. While other countries are spending millions to protect their natural heritage, people in our country are spending millions to destroy our natural heritage. This is being orchestrated by corporations and officials who are out to earn a quick buck.
For the past decade, the people of Dharaniyagala have been voiceless, but have fought a long-drawn battle to stop the destruction of Alihata. The hydropower project has clearly had an adverse effect on the environment and unwittingly had also impacted many species in the area.
Earlier this area was filled with medicinal plants such as Pussella. You travelled all the way from Colombo. Did you see any such plants today? They are turning this area into a concrete heaven similar to Colombo. We used to have clean pure water, but after 6 days of sunshine they have to supply us with water from Avisavella. If this continues, we might lose Alihata and we might be forced to import filtered seawater from Saudi Arabia for our needs. Alihata is a good tourist attraction. About 5 to 6 years ago, foreigners came here. They spent their entire day here and ate our food as well. But since the start of this project, no one comes here.
Alihata is not the only location that is under threat due to human intervention in Dharaniyagala. News First will bring you more details tomorrow.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was present at an event held in Mathura today.
The opening ceremony of a private business complex was held under the auspices of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa this evening. This is a very long question. What you're asking me is very serious. What do the people think? It is very clear now what the people think amidst the confusion, especially the fact that there is no target in this journey. The economy of the country is falling. No, who says so? We say that the party will gain. But if this journey continues like this, the party may split. I still do serve the country.
The construction of the 43rd model village under the Shelter for All concept of Minister Sajid Premadasa commenced from Lunugambehera today.
The event was held at the Padaugam area in Lunugambehera. The minister laid the foundation stone at one of the houses and proceeded to hand over the financial provisions for the construction. The dictatorship engulfed this country. Today there is something called the joint opposition. That should be called the joint destruction. This is now forming into a serious destructive force. The people of the country call for constitutional change. They elect a group to change the constitution. When this group is attempting to enact the people's mandate, the group that was defeated is saying that it is not important and that only their mandate is important.
A A program to uplift 15,000 villagers under the door-to-door village-to-village initiative commenced in the Kudakumbukolava area today. The event to mark the commencement of the program was held under the patronage of the Minister of Rural Economy, P. Harrison.
The program is enacted by the Ministry of Housing and Samurdhi. Now when all the people at the Abhayarama temple are having discussions to formulate a new party, Vimal Veeravansa says that the word freedom from the name of his party should be included in the name of this new party. Gamman Pilla says no, take a part from the name of our party too. Dinesh Gunawardena says no, apart from the name of our party should be included. If you don't put a part of the name from that party, at least include the word public. The group at the Abhayarama says no, at least the Abhayarama needs to be included. Now when they are unable to sort this issue out, they are going to name themselves the conspiracy group. That is going to be the name of their party.
Have we forgotten?
Former parliamentarian Bharata Lakshman Premachandra and 3 others were killed in a shootout at the Valpula junction in Mulleriyavu on the day of the 2011 local government elections. Police said it recovered 12 pistols, 2 revolvers and 2 T-56 assault rifles at the crime scene. Bharata Lakshman Premachandra was laid to rest on the 12th of October 2011.
අග්‍රවිනිශ්චයකාරතුමිය පැය 24න් ගෙදර යවපු රටක අපිට සාධාරණයක් වෙයිද කියලා අපි එහෙ ඉඳන් බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඒ ස්වභාව ධර්මයට බොරු කරන්න බෑනේ. ස්වභාව ධර්මයේ යම් කිසි සාධාරණයක් ඉෂ්ට කරයි.
Court determines that gunshot wounds were the cause of death of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra and his supporters. The Colombo magistrate ordered that then MP Duminda Silva be arrested and produced in court. President's counsel Hemantha Varnakula Surya, appearing for the suspect Duminda Silva, submitted to court that client was in fact the victim. A statement from Duminda Silva was produced in court 9 months later after the slaying of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra. The Attorney General instructed for case to be filed against 13 suspects, including then parliamentarian Duminda Silva, in connection to the killing of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra. The 11th suspect in the incident, Duminda Silva, arrived in the island on the 5th of March from Singapore and was subsequently arrested on the same day. As Duminda Silva had not fully recovered, he was admitted to a private hospital under the supervision of a specialist doctor, and the magistrate visited Duminda Silva in hospital that afternoon. However, Duminda Silva, who was arrested in connection with the killing of 4 persons, including Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, was ordered to be remanded until the 14th of March. Duminda Silva, a suspect in the slaying of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, appeared in court for the first time on the 6th of May 2013. On the 2nd of May 2014, the court case on the murder of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra was referred to the High Court. Chief Justice K. Sripavan decided to appoint a 3-judge bench chaired by High Court Judge Shiran Gunaratne to take up the case. 4 years and 3 months since the incident took place.
Have we forgotten?
The Pakistan Single Country Exhibition 2016 was declared open today by the Commerce Minister of Pakistan, Khurram Dastir Khan. The event to formally inaugurate the exhibition was held at the BMICH in Colombo.
The relationship between Pakistan and Sri Lanka is now deepening into an economic partnership. So this mutual prosperity that we hope to bring to our people, we believe that trade and investment are a vital part of that prosperity effort that both governments are making to support their citizens, their industry, their farmers, and these efforts will continue.
As far as this single country exhibition is concerned, I believe the objective is to boost the excellent relationship between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. and to increase trade between our two countries. At the same time, we are looking at improving the doing business index to cut through the red tape, the bureaucracy, so that countries like Pakistan can send their goods to Sri Lanka without much difficulty. All these non-tariff barriers must be eliminated as soon as possible.
A tense situation arose in the Talawakale town this evening following an incident where a youth had been assaulted by the police and was detained.
A youth named Hashan Tilakaratna had to face this situation when he reached the Talawakale town last night to purchase vegetables. He was my hire. We wanted to go to town to buy some goods. I helped him load the stuff into the three-wheeler. Then the OIC, who was in civil attire, came in his car. He asked me if I had signed. I said that I do not work at night and that I was heading to his house. He wanted us to leave. He then called my friend and slapped him. He got down from the car and kicked him, beat him and put him in the car and went away. We went to the police and gave the identity card. He then said that it is not required and our friend will be let go in the morning. The youth who was said to have been assaulted was admitted to the Lindler hospital this morning. I went to the town to buy goods. My friend was in the three-wheeler stand. Then the OIC came in his car and slapped me. I turned away. When I tried to get into the three-wheeler, he called me again. Then he dragged me and beat me. He took me in the car. I was taken in the car of the OIC. It was also reported that when a relative of the youth had visited the Talawakale police to bail him, he was also assaulted. He too is receiving treatment at the Lindler hospital. They beat me and put me in the cell for obstruction. They filed a complaint and then put me in the hospital. This evening the people of Lindler demonstrated against the police. The OIC of the Talawakale police, against whom the protest was staged, escorted the group to the police grounds for discussion.
තමන්ගේ රාජකාරියට බාධා වෙන විදිහට වැඩ කරා නම් ඒකට රටේ නීතියක් තියෙනවා. ඒක තමයි මම ක්‍රියාත්මක කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මහත්තයාට ගහන්න බෑ.
We move on to sports news now. The captain and the manager of the Sri Lankan cricket team commented on the allegations made against the conduct of several players during the New Zealand tour.
Informed by Sri Lankan cricket that the minister has requested for a report on whatever these incidents have been that have been highlighted. I'll be making that report in a few days and be handing over to Sri Lankan cricket, and they will take it up with the minister. I'm not denying, I'm not accepting, but I'm just informing just what has taken place. I've been informed to make a report, and I just do that. I can't comment. I just say I've asked to submit a report, and we'll take it from there.
As far as I'm concerned, me being the captain, I think if somebody has done something wrong, they have violated the team rules, they will definitely brought up to task. And as far as I'm concerned, they will have no way out if that has happened. But the manager will obviously look into it and direct SLC with this report.
And that's a wrap for Primetime News for tonight. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandana.
I'm Aishwarya Pinto. Good night.